Evening, my friends. Just a day after we buried Dad, and the past few days I've been trying to write tributes to him. It hasn't been easy because that has been everything to me. It's been everything to all of us. This is a man who came from the most rural part of Western Province. Dad was an orphan. He was orphaned at a very early age, and he never had parents. He grew up a poor man, begging. He was kept by people, and he struggled in life. He never had it easy. Because he wanted school, he struggled. According to him, he left the village way back in the 50s. He came to Mongo, went to Lusaka, and finally went to South Africa to work in the mines to educate himself because he really wanted to become a teacher. In the ages of 30, 40, when his friends were getting married, some even as early as 20, Dad decided, no, I'll not get married. I really want to do school and make sure that I become who I want to be. And so Mom tells us that when they were getting married in 1966, Dad was actually in his 40s. So he delayed to marry because he really wanted to do teaching, which he eventually did at David Livingstone College in Livingstone. To me, Dad is someone that saw the potential in me when I was a little boy. We grew up in Mumbwa. I was born at UTH in 1984, and I grew up at a farm. We used to head cattle. We do a lot of things with Dad. Sometimes when we were heading cattle, Dad would play a radio. He used to move with the radio all the time. He was an updated man. He'd listen to radio all the time. We reached a point where when I'm heading cattle with Dad, I would listen to the BBC jingle for Focus on Africa, because we would listen to Focus on Africa at 17, listen to it at 19 and 21 hours. And at 17, when we're heading cattle in the bush, when the jingle plays, I would rush to Dad and I would tell him, Tati, I would tell him in Lozi, I would say, Tati, kinako ya makande, meaning it's time for news, because I knew it's time for him to listen to the news. And Dad would come from where he was heading cattle and come and sit down and listen to the news. He taught me to be updated with news. He would come with newspapers, come with books, would listen to radio all the time. And he used to tell me, mwanake, aho batakubona haraho butari kwa batu urukaniya kubara mwanake, meaning in English, if you want to look intelligent in front of people, my son, you should read, you should research, you should be able to know things at first hand. My father had the library in the house. I would read all his books. I would listen to radio with him. I would listen to news with him. We would move around in the bush listening to that ITT radio with him way back in the 90s. And when I was somewhere around grade 4, grade 5, because Dad was an updated man, I knew every capital city in this world. I knew every country in this world. I knew every president in Africa. I knew all this stuff. And Dad told me, Monde. Zazilimu wena ukaba editor. I never understood what that meant, but he told me, one day you're going to be an editor. I didn't know what an editor was. Dad saw a journalist in me when I didn't know. He saw an editor in me, even when I didn't know about journalism. I didn't know what journalism was all about. But Dad saw it. He would encourage me. He would tell me, my son, if you want to excel in life, take time to listen to people. Don't speak often. Be a good listener. Research, read, and make sure when you speak, it is appropriate. Don't speak anyhow. When I finished grade 12 at Mumbwa High School, way back in 2002, Dad told me, you'll be a journalist. I didn't understand. My siblings told me, you have good results. Go and do law at UNZA. I applied twice at UNZA. I was never accepted. Dad told me, go for journalism. I applied once at Evelyn and I was picked. And after being picked, I went Evelyn and started journalism. I became a journalist. And I went back to Dad and told him, Dad, here I have a diploma now. I need to practice. He told me, go ahead. You have my blessings. And I remember in May 2011, President Rupiah Banda traveled to Turkey. And by then I was working for Movie TV and I was assigned and I went to cover him. When I went to Turkey, I made sure I bought a t-shirt written Istanbul, Turkey. That t-shirt, when I came back to Zambia, I went to a village in Mumbwa. I went and gave it to my dad. And I told Dad, this is the BBC in Istanbul. This is the BBC in Accra. This is the BBC wherever. That t-shirt here. Nilile kile kwa Istanbul na Istanbul ni mtu angafanya uzi. Kwa kono nile tati. You've never been to Turkey. Me have been. I've been to a number of countries in this world. And every time I went to these countries, I would buy t-shirts. When I come back home, I go to the village and I would tell Dad, I brought you this t-shirt from New York. You remember when you used to listen to news? I would hear, this is the BBC news in New York. This is the BBC news in Johannesburg. I would bring him t-shirt and tell him, Dad, get a t-shirt. Here is a t-shirt. Here is a t-shirt, Dad. I got it where I went. You remember you taught me that when I grow up, I'll be an editor. Here is what I'm getting. Anyway, of all the awards I've won as a journalist, the greatest of them is one I got in 2017 in New York. When I came back from New York, after I got it from the UN Secretary General, I took it back to Dad at the village. I gave it. Dad told me, you remember when you were young, I told you in the bush that Zazeli Mwanake ukawa edit. It's painful. Dad was a good man. Dad was not educated. He only had a certificate in education. I'm not sure if